All right, welcome guys. We're gonna get some late night training today. It's not super late, but it's decently late. We're gonna do legs today in species. And yeah, let's get a pump. I don't I don't know why, but I have sometimes a thing doing legs in species. Maybe it's because of the squats. Like the squats is something like doing it there. But yeah, it's just all in my mind. Yeah, I am looking forward to this. Legs is something that I want to grow. Gotta grow them legs, man. Especially hamstrings. We're gonna definitely start off with hamstrings first. That way, hamstrings are an area of focus that I really have to get bigger compared to my quads. And same thing could be said with calves. Hell, I might even start the leg workouts with after hamstrings we'll do calves. Is that a good idea? I mean, if I'm gonna start a workout, it should be a bit complementary, so I think it would probably be better to start calves and then do hamstrings, because you're kind of like warming a little the overall leg, the upper leg. So yeah, I think I'll start with calves then in that case, and afterwards we'll do hamstrings and then some quads. That's the plan for today. It's funny because I've been looking at my diet a bit more recently, and I noticed that I've been missing just a bit of calories. I've been just I I don't know what's wrong with me. I really have to be like way more on top of that. I'm not saying that like I've missed hundreds of calories, but I've missed maybe a good 100, like a good 100 over the past 3 days or 4 days. And that's not good, especially for the bulk, definitely not. So I have to be much more on top of that. I do want to switch a little bit things with my diet in order to, let's say, make it more simpler for myself. Overall, so in my bulking video that I did explaining how I'm bulking, what things I'm eating, I did say that I was going to consume 5,500 calories. I'm not entirely sure now. I have been slightly, just very slightly increasing it. Not by a lot, probably by 100 calories. Jesus, man. Having to record on one hand and sneezing. Okay, my bad, guys. I have done like 100. Okay, let me just, hang on. But yeah, I have been doing it by a good 100. I just haven't done a complete step up to get to the 5,500 because I'm still not even sure like how much work I'm going to be doing making my calories burnt changing. So like I don't know if I'm gonna be exactly burning 2,000 calories. I really have to get my Apple Watch and exactly see, because I'm not entirely sure. What I do know is for sure I am burning a bit of more calories compared to not doing that sort of work. So I am going to get an Apple Watch to know, because for what I do for work, I'm out in the sun and you're sweating and I have to drink so much water because I get dehydrated. So yeah, you get the gist. Like calories are being burnt. I just don't know exactly how much. Until I know how much, then I can see a lot more clearly how much calories I have to increase in order to get my maintenance level right. Because if I'm burning calories, obviously your maintenance level goes up because you need more calories and more macros to maintain yourself without, being below. We're trying to be in a surplus. So until I get the maintenance level, then I can get a pretty solid foundation how much I have to increase. Really, by a basic knowledge, I would say increase the surplus by a 500 to 600 calories, just because my body type right now has, I've had to increase my surplus a lot since my metabolism's been a factor. My metabolism's just been a bit crazy, so I've had to increase my calories by a lot more. So if my maintenance level is about, let's say, I don't know, 4,500 calories, then I have to be consuming about 5,100 or 5,000 calories. Yeah. Protein goes up a bit. Carbs are the gist of what's going up the most, because we want to have enough energy to put that into work that's outside of going to the gym. That way we have a great amount of carbs left that we're using in the gym and even out of the gym to get some things, to get some energy in the gym / calories. Protein, that shouldn't really be something that's touched outside of the gym. Majority of, let's say, a bigger portion of, like, if we're gonna visualize a piece of the pie, I would say 70% or a little bit more of the protein I take a day should be going in the gym. Yeah. None of that stuff should be spent on unnecessary places that don't regard muscle gains, you know? So, yeah. That's really my diet so far. Again, when you lock in with your diet, you see results already on your physique. Your legs get bigger, your arms get bigger, your chest gets bigger, your back, like everything gets bigger. I would say for me, whenever I diet a lot better, I'm not talking about like, because I think there's a thing when people say diet that they get immediately cut. Because nowadays people get in a diet to get fit, to get cut, to have a lower body fat. But that's not the case for when you're bodybuilding. At least in the case for some bodybuilders, some people bulk dirty, right? That means you eat McDonald's, you eat, like, you just care about calories and fat. You don't care where it comes from. For me, no, because I want to, you know, have a healthy life. I don't just want to get muscle gains and not give a shit about my health. Like, no. So I don't try to eat processed foods and none of that stuff. But I don't even remember why I was explaining this. But yeah, a lot of people have that gist of like dieting down so that they could lose body fat. But for bodybuilders, it's about building muscle, you know? You can't build like a lot of muscle by dropping your body fat, because you don't have enough energy in order to go into the gym and go harder. I mean, how are you going to expect to train so hard consistently if your body fat is 12%, like if your body fat's 15% or lower? You're not going to be able to push more weights. You're not going to have as much energy, hence not push more weights, hence not much muscle gain. So, and on top of that, you need enough nutrients to place into the amount of muscles you broke. So, yeah, I mean, in the dieting, what I was saying at first is that when I lock in my bulking diet, my front torso, upper torso, chest, abs, delts, even just everything, arms, get like pop out more. Like they look beefier, and I have more lines. When I don't, I just look more beefier. Okay. Now you could say like, okay, but that maybe has to do more with like carbs to different ratio. Probably. But what I just know for sure is that when I lock in my diet, I look like that. Right now, no, because I'm not. I should be. I'm a bit embarrassed to say it, but I should. But I am getting back to it. Just back to the gist. There's no excuse, but I should. In fact, I'm just really checking like how much of my calories are gonna be burned for what I do for work. From there, I could really understand more how much I should be eating. But yeah. Anyways, we're here. Let's go and train. Starting off with leg curls. Hopefully, no one ever sees those subductor hairs are next to you. But I don't think I've done it in this one, so I don't know how this is gonna be, but I'll put it at 70. And let's see what this one. Oh, okay, that's what. This has a weird. Is it magnetic? Maybe. It's so weird. It was like a quick switch there. Can't tell. Alright, well, let's just leave it there. I don't. I feel like it's just to get the extra. But the thing is, this has like a horse, whatever it's called. I don't know if that would make any sense. Since I can't move this thing there. There isn't a significant difference. I'll stay here. But I'll be right back. Let's see. Now let's use it. That one's a bit different. It goes up to your heels, and when it gets there, it's gonna be way better. Get my knees. I'm not maxing this one out for. So here it is. Black pressing, I think for me it's more of the reps. Now they're pushing the weight. This weight is. I drop it down. I've never used this, so it's kind of. Lady move forward. Hold it. Stiff legs. That might work very far. So this is 80. Yeah. Next one will be a 90. This and dumbbell pullovers are annoying for me because it's a part where I have to find a pin to get to the hamstring, and then pullovers is the same thing with chest. Should I drop the weight? I think I should, because it's not. I'm not feeling it too much on my hamstrings. That defeats the purpose. In fact, I would say from the more weight, I think my back's getting a bit too involved, where it's transitioning a bit to a deadlift, which is not what we fucking want. I shouldn't leave it on the ground too long because it stops the tension. So even
even though we did 3, I'm gonna do another one because those last 2 were not the best because of the muscle to mind connection. I think this weight's good. Doing it too much starts to borderline get to deadlifts. This is good. All right. Hack squats. Yeah. These have been complex for me always. But I did notice that doing it slower and more controlled in the decline and incline, going down and going up, did feel a bit better on my hamstrings. There was more connection. But when it's on the floor, it shouldn't be there for too long, or else it removes a lot of the tension from the hamstrings. Since you're resting, there's no weight. So the weight comes down. So, yeah, just taps. That's what I should do. All right, let's get to hack squats. Those are my favorite. Same angle? Now, let's do another angle. I did this one last time. All right, so I've done max here with a 3-set count. I think it was a 90 and 220s, so that's about 110. I have enough strength, so I would say we can do 120. Yeah, 120. So 120, 110, 100. 100 would be the first set. Let's do that. There we go. Yep. Ah, wait, fuck. Uh, if I'm doing 120, yeah, no. 'Cause I did 90. We do 100, then to 110. But I mean, that first one was had a bit of a task to get to the 12 reps. Oh man, coming coming back in feels so great when you're once after you're coming down and you come up and you flex out. Feels amazing. Soon enough, I will do the sissy squat variation. Uh, Tom does it like, let me see, because he goes really down below. And he just like this. I could try it, but I'd have to do it with much less weight. I could definitely do it with this though. Not in the other one. Yeah, because it would be. Let's try it. Let me do it with. I should have done it from the start, but I just want to see how it feels. All right, let's try it. First time. So, okay. I remember that he goes very close. His toes are almost touching each. Not his toes, but his heels. He's in a dog position. I remember him saying that. So, yeah, his hips come outward. I remember that. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a difference night and day. Oh, yeah. Tom knows exactly what he's talking about. That is way different. It's a lot more harder. That's excellent for cutting because I can't. I mean, your knees are coming so outward that if you put too much weight without gradually getting there, you could compromise a bit the knees. But I definitely felt that on my quads. Not that I wasn't feeling it before, but doing it like that, I felt it way more. That's like the best variation I've done for this. You guys just that was I felt it completely there. It was 25 pounds. Let's put a 10 on it, and we'll kind of do something a bit more serious with that. That felt amazing. I'm getting excited just doing them, you know. I can't even imagine doing it like that, which he does. Damn. I don't. Have you guys ever seen the movie Inglourious Bastards? That first scene where Hans Landa gets into the farm and he drinks a glass of milk and he's like, "Bravo." That's what this feels. This is the lowest it goes here. I don't know if that will be a problem. Let's just do it free weight. Oh no, it's good. Yeah, that's good. So honestly, I tend to do these a lot wider in my knees, but because of what I did with hack squats, it gives me an idea to do these more narrow. Because I noticed that when you're more narrow, it targets, I think, a fuller version of your quad. I felt it even doing this free weight. When I just switched up a little bit, I felt it more. So let me drop the weight compared to the max. Let's start it off with a 45. I did tap these things. That's how low it goes. Let me see. I'm pretty sure that's the lowest, but yeah, that is the lowest. Fuck. All right. Damn, that tap fucked me up. Let me do that again. That tap messed me up. Hang on. Damn, that tap is weird to me. The tap is, yeah, it's a weird. I don't know if I do it, Smith, because that tap's so weird psychologically for me. This is really weird to do this on a Smith, I'm not gonna lie. It's not bad. I like free weight better, but or let's just switch spots. I like to do free weight, but this fucking thing is not low enough for me. What else do I have? Squats. Oh yeah, leg extensions. Yeah. That felt pretty good, but I don't know. I'll explain later. Yeah. I've never done it on this one. This looks a bit old school. This looks like one of those videos that you see Tom Platz doing. It's definitely harder to raise. All right, it is very dark in here, ladies and gents, but I just want to see how my legs look from here. Damn. I mean, it's definitely the lighting, but bro, look at that. I can even see. Is it just me or do I see a bit of striations? I mean, if I see striations, that's not. Let me see. God, my shadow's like. I don't know. Yeah, I see the striations. Wow. I think that's definitely the lighting. How about calves? Let me put this up. Just to get the look of God. Oh my God, this is the best lighting. Jesus Christ. All right, let's hang on. I think it's definitely the lighting because that looked way too ridiculous. Yeah, that was definitely the lighting. That lighting is insane in this angle. All right, so let me put you guys here so you can see me a bit more clearly. It might be a bit too bright, but who cares? All right. Yeah, it was definitely the lighting. But what I can tell you for sure is that when we did those hack squats, oh man. I'm not joking. That is the best hack squat variation I've ever done. Because I think what was happening is that because you're stretching outward while retaining tension from the weight, and so you're still, because here's the thing, you can go like this, but if you let the weight drop, then you're not holding anything in with your quads. But the fact of going down and controlling the weight while you're doing this, you feel it everywhere on your quads. I recommend you to try it. Now, I would say that I did find the benefit of doing those enormously when you're cutting, because I found that doing that, it was similar to leg extensions in terms of resistance. Now, by the time I was in my 6th rep, I felt it. Like I felt it just hitting my quads completely. Just each rep was getting harder. And I felt it just building up like if I was doing weight with mass. So I think, let me see. I will say that, yeah, one thing. I'm gonna go back to normal. The next time I do hack splits, I'll just do it with more weight. I'm not gonna do much of that variation because I think that variation is really good more when you're doing way more reps. Because I found that even though despite I was going down and it was getting harder and harder, it's a type of workout that you can just do 20 to 30 reps like continuously. So like you can get to failure, quote unquote failure, let's say 70% there. But if you're on the 20th rep and it hurts coming down, you can push up barely. And with the barely phases, you can do likely like at best 10 more reps with another person. So that's why I think those are really good for more cutting because you can reach that apex, almost apex, but you have to do more reps. While in more weighted hack squats, it's not so much of that amount of reps, but it's more of the rep there. Like you could do 12, 15 and you can't, like it's really hard to do more. So yeah, I will do that in bulking, but that's really good for cutting. I'm really glad I did that today because I was not expecting that much. Yeah, and I really liked how I did the leg workout today. I started it off with calves, then I did hamstrings. I found that because I did it, I felt like my leg workout got done way more quicker. So it's more efficient. I'd recommend you to do that because I think people lack calves a lot. So I'm gonna start doing calves the first thing in every workout. That way I get them done with and proceed the rest of the workout. But yeah, today was, even though I didn't do so much weight on squats because I was trying to do them more narrow stance. I've always done them like this. I don't know if you can see, but I've always done it like this. Today I was doing it more like this, like just a bit closer. Because I found that when I was doing that in hack squats, I was feeling it more. But I think I did realize that I didn't feel it as much when I was doing so much weight, so that means that I have to really control the quality of that rep. But yeah, anyways, let's get back to the car.
All right, pretty educational training today that went down. This definitely does help me the next time I do legs to know what I should start, and also, yeah, how far I can push. But that was nice. Now, that lighting was intense, but I think my legs were normal. I think the lighting was just freaking ridiculous. That's what happens when you have really good lighting. It makes your muscles like just stand out. Because think about it, the rest of your body is sort of blacked out because of the shadow based on the lighting position above you. And if you have your legs forward, based on how the shadows move on, the shadows make it seem so that you have more outlines. So it makes your muscles pop out more. Just a lighting technique. For me, I mean, that's really cool, right? I'm down for that. But I think my quads were kind of the same. But I definitely will tell you though, because the thing is that to get to the posing room, that gym has 2 stories. So the posing room is on the 2nd floor, and I was walking up the stairs, and I felt it completely on my quads. Like, it was hard to get up those stairs. So yeah, that's a sign, because I think, yeah, I mean, that happens to me many times when I'm doing legs, but particularly today, I felt it just a bit more on my quads when I was going up. So yeah, and that's what you should do, try some variations, like, if just to spice the things up. I tried that out because Tom Platz has enormous legs, and I found it interesting the way how he did hack squats. I never really done sissy squats, so I mean, you're really just squatting, half sissy squatting on the hack squat when you do it in that variation, like how Tom does it. But just the factor of letting your hips like forward and your quads stretching while holding the weight, oh man, it feels it more, especially when you come up too and you flex like that. These motions of coming down, it's like you have such an amazing synchronicity when you come down to stretch as equal compared to when you're coming up and flexing. Because I think when you're doing a very heavier weight hack squat, when you're coming down, it's not so as intense compared to this variation, because you're coming down and you're holding it, but it's like when you're squatting, when you come down when you're squatting, it's not as intense compared to when you come up. I mean, you agree with that. When you do squat, a lot of the intensity coming out from your quads are coming up when you're coming from when you're coming up from squatting down. That's why it's called a squat. But in this hack squat, because you're doing a variation where you're stretching it, it's allowing your quads to be expanded. It's like stretching the tendon or not stretching the tendon, it's stretching the muscle while it's holding the weight, so it's even harder. Oh, that felt amazing. That reminded me when I do back days, when I allow more stretches on T-bars or barbell rows, because I do kind of the same thing, only that, it's for lats. In this variation, it's for quads, and that felt good. Man, this is really cool. Like, yesterday and today including, we've had a lot more, let's say, insightful workouts, because in my back day, I allowed a lot more stretches, contractions, like completely, and holding it in and allowing, like, without just pushing it in. I'm not saying that I'm using momentum, but sometimes when you're doing weights, I feel it in this motion, but if I allow stretch come up and have, I think it's more in terms, because when you're beginning, you don't really feel it much when you do that, or at least you don't have much growth. But once you've done it a while, doing the way how you normally do it, like just letting the weight come up and come down while having that muscle to mind connection, over a few months, if you apply a lot more of a slower motion and feeling a lot of the movements during the positives and negatives, it does work for your muscles. It does. Which I would say that's a lot of that's a big modern day bodybuilding concept. That's what a lot of like modern day bodybuilders do. Like they're more slow and allowing every stretch, contraction, coming in and squeeze, variation. That stuff works too, you know, a bit. But I would say, like, there is no right or wrong. Definitely not. Like you could do just what people did back in the old days, not apply much of the modern days at all, and you can get an amazing physique. You can apply a lot of stuff from modern days and not do much from the old days, you still get an amazing physique. But it really depends on your body type. I think for me, it's good to have a balance of all of them. It's good to have a lot of the old school concepts, because I really believe in that. There's a reason why you look back in the 90s and 80s, and they had a different type of quality of muscle compared to people nowadays. But I'm not saying that, let's say, genetics or what people were eating. I think it's just more in terms of how the workout's being structured and planned with bodybuilders today than compared to back then. Or you know what? It does have to do with eating as well. It's a mix between these both things. And so that's why I like old school a lot, because it's focused more on trying to build an artistic physique. Like if we're talking about the golden era, it wasn't just about mass and just definition. Like nowadays, a lot of the times it's like black and white. Like a lot of times nowadays it's like blue, red, yellow, green. Like there's these options, but they're only this. Back then, it was like you mix blue, green, and purple, and you get some strange color. Like it was more artistic. It wasn't just about who has the best this, who has the best that, and whatever. That's what I think what separates from the olden days compared to today. But there's some things that you could apply to today when it comes to, let's say, effectiveness on a single group of applying. When it comes to, I think I would say, like, building definition. But I think that's more of the, I don't know, that's more my opinion. I can't really know for sure. I can't really tell you. This is just now purely opinion. This is not that everything I say is a fact, but it's not something that I'm not so sure about. But I think it's not as long-term quality with muscle when you do more of the modern day stuff compared to back then. But I could be wrong. Like, so don't take that to a lot of face value. But yeah, it was a good day. Tomorrow I'm going to do chest. Yeah, tomorrow will be chest. Fucking chest. Yeah, it's not that I'm like, oh my god. No. Like I that's it's a challenge, man. It's a challenge. I really want to grow them. And it's funny that I say that, and like when I look at myself back a few months ago, my chest is bigger. It's just that sometimes I just put myself with so much pressure that, like, it's that's the thing about bodybuilding, man. That's why I think not many people like bodybuilders, because it's not that we're perfectionists, but because, like, I think similar to like how my body is to a sculpture, that I try to have all the muscles I have to be proportionate. Now, of course, I'm starting, so I don't have ridiculous striations and 20-inch biceps trying to get to 40 to 50 inch quads. Like, no, we're not there yet. That's until like my 10th year. Like, that's way down in the road. This is a long process. It's a fun process, but it's a long process. But I still have that concept of, despite my size or whatever, I think it's good to gradually keep the same place of having all your muscles proportionate. Because think about it, if you keep pushing yourself harder, you eat well, you sleep well, you do this over many years, for 6 to 8 to 10 years, you're gonna have, like, I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, I think it's very impressive when I see a physique that's super proportionate. Like, biceps are right there with their lats, traps right there with their delts, delts right there with their forearms, abs right there with their chest, waist right there with their quads, calves right there with their hamstrings. Like, everything just complements each other. And you don't see that a lot in bodybuilding. Like, not just nowadays, but you just don't see that much in bodybuilding, period. And so, you know, I think it's cool to bring new things to the table. So yeah, just shine things that you can do. Anyways, that's it for now. I'm gonna go in, eat, and sleep because it's now kind of late, and I definitely want to rest. I want to sleep like a good many hours. Like, I definitely want to take advantage of that. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be hitting some chest.